in a very, very primitive condition. Pardon, sir? Ah,
No, sir, continue,
man
sir.
would
Yeah.
be, yeah, I'm continuing. Man would be living in highly primitive conditions. All that progress, the spectacular progress made by man has been possible only because of language. If language were not there, then you won't be sitting in the university. I won't be teaching in any college. Life would not have been better than the life of higher type of animals. So we have to be very much thankful to the existence of language. Because of language, man has made this much progress. Now the main means or the function of language is communication. And because man is able to communicate with his fellow beings, we can see that he is able to share his ideas, his views, and thereby he has achieved a lot of progress in almost all the fields of human activity. Now, the problem comes what what is the reason that we should study phonetics and phonology? Before that, let me make it clear in our other very simple terms. What exactly are we to understand by phonetics, and what we are to understand by phonology? In simple words, phonetics is the study of human speech sounds, be it in any language. How these speech sounds are articulated. Articulated means produced. It may be in Kannada, or it may be in Marathi, it may be in English, or it may be in any language. The main work of phonetics is to study human speech sounds and how these speech sounds are articulated. Then, actually, phonology is slightly different from phonetics. Phonology is the classification of the speech sounds within the system of a particular language. So when we think of phonology, a particular language comes before us. That doesn't happen when we speak of phonetics. So we can say phonology of English language means what are the speech sounds, how these speech sounds are organized and classified within the framework of English language. This is the difference between phonetics and phonology. Now, why at all should we study phonetics and phonology? See, uh, we use so many languages, and the students of English are studying English language and literature. Now, phonetics and phonology takes care of the spoken aspect of English language, because most of the time, more than 90% of the use of our language is spoken. Whenever we meet a person, we judge his language proficiency mostly by his spoken language. So, if our spoken language is correct and accurate, then we can create a good impression upon our audience or the person with whom we are conversing. Therefore, the study of phonetics and phonology is very much necessary, especially for the student of English language. Now, the study of phonetics and phonology is more important in English than in any of Indian languages, because the very nature of Indian languages is phonetic. Most of the languages, or you can say almost all the languages, are phonetic in nature. Now, what we mean by phonetic in nature, it means what we write, be it Kannada, be it Hindi, be it Marathi, there is only one way of reading. One cannot read a particular word written in these languages in two different ways, or there cannot be any confusion regarding the pronunciation of these words as far as our languages are concerned. Therefore, you haven't seen any institute or any academy displaying the board spoken Kannada or spoken Hindi or spoken Marathi like that. But on the other hand, if you go to a big city, you can see so many places where spoken English is taught. So many boards, so such and such institute of spoken English. Why it is like that? The reason is English is a non-phonetic language. Now, what do we mean by non-phonetic language? Actually, in English, we write something and read something else. There is no one to one correspondence between the spelling of a word and its pronunciation. They are totally divorced from each other. For example, the letter of English alphabet O has got as many as 8 different sounds. So this creates a lot of confusion. Like that, most of the letters of English language have more than one pronunciation. The same thing we cannot find in our language. So, as far as reading is concerned, or as far as speaking is concerned, our languages are much easier than English language. And therefore, people encounter a lot of difficulty as far as their spoken English is concerned. And in the matter of spoken English, either the sounds they use in pronouncing a particular word are not correct, or the accent that they use in pronouncing a particular word is not correct. Now, for example, I have heard many people, highly educated people, even the campus coordinator of the college where I worked after my retirement for 6 to 7 years, pronounced this particular word in a very peculiar way. And I'm sure that most of the people pronounce this word in the same way. And that word is CONFIRMATION. This is a fairly common word. The verb form of this word is confirm. CONFIRM is confirm. And the noun form of this word is CONFIRMATION. They write, as far as writing is concerned, there is no possibility of anybody going wrong. Anybody can write the correct spelling of the word. But when it comes to pronouncing a particular word, actually the difficulty begins. Now, how did he pronounce this word CONFIRMATION? Just stretch your imagination and just you think, how do you pronounce this word CONFIRMATION, which is the noun form of the verb confirm? Now usually what is our method of arriving at the a possible pronunciation of any word? Now CONFIRM is confirmed. To that ATION is added. It means CONFIRM, this much pronunciation need not change. Means Asian is added to confirm, and people pronounce it as confirmation. Confirmation. And exactly it was the same pronunciation that the campus coordinator of the college where I worked after my retirement for 5 to 6 years pronounced. And I'm sure that many people around you are pronouncing this noun form of the verb confirm as confirmation. But if you look up the pronunciation of this word in a pronouncing dictionary, then you will be surprised to know that it is not confirmation but confirmation. Con. The first sound changes. You add some words at the end of a word, but the first sound changes. Con becomes con. Therefore, English language presents a peculiar difficulty in pronouncing so many words. And if a person who is pronouncing English words in exactly correct way is it goes rather difficult for him to communicate with Indian people, because he will pronounce the word as confirmation, and we may not be able to make out anything. We can make neither head nor tail of what that gentleman said, because we are habituated to receive the pronunciation of that word not as confirmation but confirmation. This has been deeply rooted in our mind, and therefore some kind of communication gap is likely to occur. So this is the peculiar problem that Indian people are most likely to face. Therefore, the study of phonetics and phonology becomes useful to overcome the problems of these types of mispronunciation. And every language has got its own sound system, and we call it phonology, and its own script. Every language has got its own script, though many languages share a common script. For example, Devanagari script is shared by Marathi also and Hindi also. The letters are the same. But therefore, but some difference is there. Now, there are some languages in the world. Of course, the number of languages is very big. More, I think, more than 500 languages may be there with script in the world. And the if we consider the phonology of these languages, then we we find that we see that the sounds used by different languages are not exactly the same. Some sounds are same, some sounds are slightly different, some sounds are totally different, some sounds are totally absent. This difference is bound to be there. Apart from that, there are some languages which make use of very small number of sounds. And if my memory serves me better, I have read somewhere that in the world there are some languages where only 20 to 25 sounds are enough for the speakers of that language to communicate perfectly well. On the other hand, there are some languages which require as many as 70 to 75 different speech sounds. So other languages fall in the middle somewhere. Now, English, for example, may be falling somewhere in the middle. And maybe we can say that English has got 49 speech sounds totally, both vowel sounds and consonant sounds. But in some books, the number may differ. In some books, the number may be, for example, 45. In some books, the number may be 47. In some books, the number may be 49. But let us take that the number of speech sounds in English language is 49. And I will explain later on how this number 49 is rather useful for our discussion. Then, if we take up the nature of these speech sounds, then one classification of speech sounds is fairly common, and that is same as vowels and consonants. And the same classification we find in so many languages. In Kannada, for example, we say Swaragalu Mattu Vyanjanagalu. In Marathi, also the same type of classification is found. In most of the languages, the same type of classification is found. Now, but again, I have come across some difference in the very definition of vowels and consonants that is there in English phonology and that is there in Kannada phonology. I asked one Kannada lecturer about the correct definition of vowel sounds and correct definition of consonant sounds. Then he said that ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಉಚ್ಚರಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ ವಾಟ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಸ್ವರಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಧ್ವನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ವರ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು. ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಉಚ್ಚರಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ, ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಮೇನ್ point in his definition. Means these sounds are uttered independently, means not without the help of any other sound. And the definition of consonant was given by that Kannada teacher to me was ಸ್ವರದ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದೇ ಉಚ್ಚರಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ ಧ್ವನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ವ್ಯಂಜನ ಅನ್ನಬೇಕು. Now the difference is these consonants are uttered or articulated with the help of vowels. This is what the meaning of the definition boils down to. Means, according to Kannada definition, consonants cannot be uttered independently. They are always uttered with the help of vowels. This is what we understand as per the definition, and only the people who have studied phonetics or anything that is equal to phonetics in Kannada language will know it better, because my knowledge of Kannada phonetics is next to nothing. Then one particular word came to my mind a couple of years ago in the college where I was working. They brought out one souvenir in connection of some particular event, and the title of that souvenir was Spandana. Spandana. Now look at the pronunciation of this word Spandana. The first sound is s, not s, but only hissing sound. And that sound, if you know something about phonetics, is a voiceless sound. Voiceless means when you produce that hissing sound, your vocal cords do not vibrate. There is no voice in that. Sound is there, hissing sound is there, but voice is not there. Voice means your vocal cords must vibrate. then only we call it a voiced sound. In English, there are so many voiceless sounds. And the first sound is s, not s, but only hissing sound. So this is not produced with the help of vowel. But according to Kannada definition, every consonant sound should be or must be pronounced with the help of vowel sound. ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಉಚ್ಚರಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಸೇ ಧ್ವನಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತ ಸ್ವರದ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಉಚ್ಚರಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ ಧ್ವನಿಗಳು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಧ್ವನಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಬರೀ ಹಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇದಿಸ್, ಇದು ಸ್ವರದ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಉಚ್ಚರಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವರ ಒಟ್ಟ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. So this is the main difference between the very definition of consonant that we find in English and that is given to us in Kannada. Therefore, if we further study the phonetics and phonology of English language, then one very important distinction between the speech sound after the distinction of vowel and consonant is what are the voiced sounds and what are the voiceless or unvoiced, you can call anything, sounds. But we will not visit that particular topic in this particular session, but we will come to the very first classification of speech sounds, that is vowels and consonants. Now, in English, vowels are those speech sounds where in production of which the vocal cords are vibrating. Vocal cords are there in the larynx, here larynx. And if they are vibrating, if you put your fingers here, you can feel the vibration. If you feel the vibration in the production of a particular speech sound, then you can say that that particular speech sound is voiced. And if you don't find any vibration while producing or uttering a particular speech sound, then we call it voiceless. If you say like that, shh, if we want to attract the attention of somebody, we say shh, shh, this sound. This whether it is sh or s, not s but s, and not sh but sh. These sounds are voiceless. You can very well judge by putting your finger on the larynx here, a prominence here, which in common language is called Adam's apple. Inside that, vocal cords are situated. So this is the definition of vowel sounds in according to English phonology, where vocal cords are vibrating and the airflow is not obstructed in any part of the mouth. Vocal cords are set vibrating and the airflow coming out from the mouth is not obstructed or no friction is caused at any place in the mouth. That is the definition of vowel sound. Only the shape of the mouth changes. For example, you say and you say ah, means the shape of the mouth changes. Nothing more happens. You say ooh, means your lips become round. E, your while producing this sound, your lips spread horizontally. O, like that. Means the obstruction, there is no obstruction to the air coming out from the mouth, only the shape of the mouth changes, and thereby we get different vowel sounds. That is the basic sound. On the other hand, if we consider consonant sound. Then, by the very definition, consonant sounds are those speech sounds in the production of which there is some kind of obstruction or friction. Remember, those speech sounds in the production of which there is some kind of obstruction, stoppage, or some kind of friction in any part of the mouth. For example, if you say p, means both the lips must be closed tightly so that no air can can escape, and then the air pressure in the mouth should increase, and suddenly the lips must separate and the air must come out with force. P, like that. K means the obstruction is at the back, at the velum, at the soft palate. And T, it is at the alveolar ridge, just behind the teeth. There, the obstruction. But in the case of, for example, some other sounds, then some kind of friction takes place. And these, according to the nature of what to say, blockage and sudden release, or a narrow passage between two organs of speech, and there is a kind of audible friction that is taking place between these two organs of speech which come very near, then depending upon that, consonant sounds are classified. But fairly, for example, plosives, when suddenly the some lips are released or the obstruction is at in one particular place and there is sudden release, plosives and fricatives, then affricates, then approximants, glottal, etc. The classification is made. Of course, to study these different speech sounds, we have to go to that particular chapter and discuss that particular chapter and that particular topic rather in great detail. But that will be our work in the subsequent session. But today I will tell you as to what is the basic difference between the vowel sounds that as we find in English language and vowel sounds that we find in most of the Indian languages, because of which our pronunciation suffers. Our pronunciation is not exact. One thing, again, I will tell you, vowel sounds have got three subclasses. Means if there is a single sound, if there is a single sound, then these sounds are called pure vowels or monophthongs. Mono means one, and this thong refers to sound. Monophthong means a single sound where only one sound is there. And in this category, again, there is a subdivision: short monophthongs and long monophthongs. And again, there are certain technical terms, but I don't want to take you into all these intricate and complicated technical terms. But you can refer, you can just remember short single sounds in simple language, rather than monophthongs also may be rather difficult to remember. You can say pure vowel rather than remembering or say putting in your memory monophthong, monophthong. It is better to remember pure vowel, means vowel which is made up of a single sound. And in this category, again, there are two subclasses, one short and one long. In this I had asked Dr. Fayaz to circulate one particular sketch in which I myself produced these symbols of these what you say monophthongs and then diphthongs, double sounds. There are 12 monophthongs, 8 diphthongs. Diphthongs means double sounds, and I have taken triphthongs as 5. Some books do not make any mention of triphthongs, and some books make mention of only 2 triphthongs. But I have got one book in which 5 triphthongs have been mentioned, and I have verified these 5 diphthongs with the English pronouncing dictionary written by Daniel Jones. They are there, means these triphthongs must come in a single syllable. Then only we can call them as a triphthong. And I have found that all these 5 triphthongs are there in single syllable, means each triphthong comes in one syllable. Anyway, we will discuss these syllable and all these things later on, because if I am using too many technical terms, then I will be embarrassing you. That I shouldn't do. Then first, there are 12 single sounds, and if you have that chart in before you, which I think Dr. Fayaz has given a printout of that particular page, and I have given numbers. Have you given it, sir?
Yes, sir. All of them are having it, sir. You please proceed, sir.
Okay, they have that particular paper in front of you, and I have given them numbers in circles. Okay, first is first number is E. The sound is E, as in pit, bit, sit, like that. Second is the English letter E, but here we don't call them letter, we have to call them as phoneme, because we are using that letter as symbol. We are not using that particular E as a letter of alphabet, but we are using it as a symbol, symbol that symbolizes or represents a particular vowel sound. That second is A, as in pet, short A. And see, in our language, we don't have short A. In Kannada, we have got short A, but in Marathi, we don't have short A. And again, there is mispronunciation. When a Kannada student can say pen, but a Marathi person will say pain. A Kannada student can say bell, but a Marathi student will say bell. त्यांना बेल वाजविली, मला एक पेन पाहिजे, in Marathi. So again, there will be some kind of confusion. Again, there
Yeah,
is
even
that
50, sir. Even 50, 55, like this, they say.
that f is pronounced as p. French physicist, like that people pronounce. So from one language to another language, variations are bound to be there, and we cannot establish one-to-one correspondence between any two languages. That is because every language is unique, and every language has developed independently of other language. Therefore, variation is bound to be there, and if we take into consideration these variations, if we study the points of departure that one language has with other language, then we will be in a position to understand the sound system better. In Kannada, we don't have ch, only say ch. In Marathi, there are two ch sound. One is ch, 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 like that. Two sounds are there, but in Kannada, only one sound is there. So these variations are bound to be there. Then third one, it is a joint. A and E are fused together. That is a sound, like pat or bat or man or fan. Third one. Then next fourth one, the A without that bar or inverted V. The letter V is put in inverted way. That is like blood, but, like that, strong. And then another is inverted A, second ABCD A, but that is the sound represented by this symbol is A, short A, like got, pot, lot, like that. And next is inverted U. I think this is taken from Greek alphabet. I think it is inverted omega. I think in Greek alphabet, this particular symbol in inverted, which is here given in inverted form, is called omega, the last letter in Greek alphabet. If I am right, if you have accurate knowledge, please correct me. And this is U, as in put, or for example, you can imagine so many put, and after that, what you say, shook, like that, book, like that. And then we have got inverted E, which is a sound, but that is different from that inverted V. There is a lot of difference in inverted E, the symbol inverted E, the sound represented by the inverted E symbol, and the sound represented by inverted V symbol. This inverted V is pronounced forcefully with the mouth is bit more open. But in the case of this inverted E, the mouth is slightly open. For example, again. First sound is and second, that is the first syllable, and second syllable is gain. So this is the weakest possible syllable in our vowel sound system, vowel sound series. Weakest possible sound in vowel category, we can say. Next comes E in the after this, and then comes U. These inverted E, that is A and E and U, these three sounds independently can form single syllable. Only three sounds out of these seven short sounds, only three sounds can form independent syllable. Now, if you know what is syllable, then you can understand something of what I am saying. If not, for example, leave it. In the next, for example, session, we can take it up what exactly is syllable, and so on, like that. Only three sounds which are considered to be weak sounds, weak vowel sounds, and the weakest one is that is inverted E, which can become an independent syllable in a particular word. For example, again, is one syllable, gain is second syllable. So, actually, I am going ahead. If you know something of syllable, then only this discussion will be useful. Otherwise, it may not be useful. Anyway, leave it. Now, these seven short sounds are there, and five long sounds are there. These five long sounds, I think I haven't given in the chart. I think I have forgotten to include these five long sounds, but the sounds after some time I can just send. That is E, that is like in key, feel, then ah, like far, car. You don't have anything to see now because I have forgotten to include these five long vowel sounds in the sketch. So 7 plus 5, there are 12 single sounds. Out of that, 7 are short and 5 are long. But all these are single sounds, and therefore we can call them monophthongs or pure vowels. Pure in the sense, no other sound is mixed with that. Whether it is the short one or long one, they are single only. Therefore, we call it pure. And the next category is called diphthong, D-I-D. That means two, carbon dioxide. We say di here. but here we pronounce it as D. Diphthong means two sounds, a mixture of two sounds. It that particular phoneme or the smallest unit of speech sounds begin with one and ends in another. Here now, the thing that I want to tell you is that in our phonology, whether it is the Kannada phonology or Marathi phonology or any other phonology, we have got very few number of diphthongs. As far as Marathi is concerned, we have got only two, I and OU, E, I and U, OU, diphthong. Only two. I think in Kannada also the same two diphthongs means a mixture of two sounds we find. But in English, this particular point is very important, and it is the major departure as far as our study of English phonology is concerned. English has got as many as eight diphthongs. Uh, Eight diphthongs. And if a person is very strongly under the influence of his mother tongue, everybody has to be under the influence of his or her mother tongue, or call it first language. That the very strong influence exerted by a person's mother tongue or first language poses difficulty for him in acquiring other language, because that particular rules, that particular norms of that first language go and sit deep in his mind, which prevent the acquisition of other language. Now, we, for example, are familiar with only two diphthongs, and therefore, if a sound is other than that, we take it as monophthong. For example, DATE or LATE. This is a very, very common word. He is late, we say. A, not A, but A, long. But in English, there is no long A, only short A. But that long A is A and E. So in DATE, it is date, D plus AE, T. And we substitute a monophthong from our phonology for a diphthong of English phonology. For AE, we simply put A. For example, he is late. Today, what is the date? But
Sir,
actually, if
excuse me.
you,
Yeah, excuse
yes,
me
sir.
just a minute. One of my student has one doubt, sir.
Uh,
Yeah. Introduce yourself and ask.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Tell me,
How many monotones in English, sir?
how many monophthongs?
Yes, sir.
No, monophthongs are only 12. That as I have already spoken. Monophthong means single sound. Huh? Let me repeat what I have already said. Mono means one. Okay. And thong
Yes, sir.
refers to the sound. Monophthong means single sound. There are 12 monophthongs, but out of these 12, 7 are short and 5 are long. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any doubt
Which are
about
they,
this?
sir? Which are they,
Pardon?
sir?
These short are E, A, O, U, and These are 7 are short, which are already there before you. But these long ones I forgot to include in that particular sketch. The long are E, like feel, A, like car, O, like core, and U, like cool, and like cur or girl or earn, like that. These five. I will give this later on. I will send a particular snap from Peter Roche's book. Okay. And if Peter Roche's book is there or Daniel Jones' book is there in your library, you can take it out and see all these symbols. Okay. Is your
Yes, sir.
doubt
Proceed, sir.
resolved?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please
No,
continue, sir.
no, there are actually 12 sounds, but again, they are divided into two categories, single sounds. Okay. Short and long, 7 short and 5 long. Okay. Lakhs and tens is the word used for them, but I have avoided this. Okay. Lakhs vowels for short and tens vowels for long. These technical terms are used in some books, but because of the minds of the student should not be burdened with unnecessarily burdened with technical terms, I have not included that. I have simply used short and long because they are easy to remember. So the existence of a large number of diphthongs creates mispronunciation. As for example, the first one is about a, like date and late, but we say date and late. Okay, and see P double O R. P double O R, some people pronounce it as poor. He is very poor. But here it is a double sound. U, U plus A, poor. U plus A, poor. So, because we don't know, because we are under the strong influence of our mother tongue, that results in mispronunciation many times. And if you undertake a very careful study of English phonology and not only undertake the careful study of phonology, but we have to implement the result of your careful study in your speech. See, long back I was coming to Bijapur because from the year 2005 to 2007, when my college was under this Women's University, Bijapur. I was working in Women's College, and at that time, this particular university came into existence. And during that time, I was the senior most faculty in all the colleges coming under Akmahadevi Women's University, Bijapur. Then I was called at least once in every month for one or other reason, for setting a question paper or board of studies meeting or framing of syllabus. For any reason, I was called and I used to come there. Then there was one of my friends who worked with me. He had a very good knowledge of phonetics and phonology, and of course he gave me a very good analysis of all these speech sounds and what is syllable and what is accent and what is intonation and everything. But when he was speaking to me, he was not following that. Then I asked him, ಏನ್ರಿ ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಆದರೆ ನೀವು ನನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅದು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯೂಸೇ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದ್ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಬರೀ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ದಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳ ಪೂರ್ತೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ನಡೆಸ್ತೀವಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. They are using that particular knowledge of phonology, phonetics only in the classroom, only to explain the topics of a particular subject. But what I say, you should implement that when you are speaking with your colleagues, when you are speaking with your students. At that time, you must speak in accordance with the rules of phonetics. Then and then only the correct knowledge of phonetics should spread or will spread. Otherwise, it will remain only limited to the classroom discussion and it will not percolate down into your day to day English use. That is the difficulty. So these are the 8. That is A. I think the paper is before you. A as in late. But the word here, for example, what I have written, I don't remember. Only I have given the symbol. And A, second ABCD, A and I. I, like for example, 5. I, like for example boy. Then ear like here, air like air, air, and oor like poor, ow like go. Now this oo again is the most mispronounced diphthong. For example, go, we say go, but go o is a single sound, but here this is a double sound. It is not o, but it is a u, o. But nobody says go. home, we say home. gol gold, we say gold. But actually, if an Englishman who, for example, an educated Englishman, who is using the received pronunciation, then he will not say road. For example, if you are using the app of navigation in your mobile, if you want to go to a new place, Google Maps, you open and you start the navigation, and when one female voice will come, take the next road. She will not say road. She says road, road, home. They will say home, not home. They will say gold, not gold. This is the great most 99.9% of the people uh, pronounce it as a single sound, but actually it is a double sound. Go, gold, home, road, like that. And then ow. Of course, this is not mispronounced by us like cow, how. This is not mispronounced. But the greatest mispronounced uh, diphthong is ow, and after that, next comes a. Some are pronounced correctly, but some are pronounced always in a wrong way. So what my point is, if you have a correct knowledge of that, you cannot mispronounce. But again, there is a difficulty. If 99.9% people are mispronouncing, among them the correct pronunciation will sound like wrong. That problem also is there. If out of 100, 99 99
Excuse,
people are pronouncing a word in a wrong way, and if only
excuse,
one person
excuse me, sir.
pronounced that word in a correct way, then who will carry the point? That
Excuse
one
me,
man
sir.
will not carry the point. He will
Hello,
be in the minority, microscopic minority, and he will be
hello,
dubbed
sir.
as wrong. His pronunciation will be dubbed as wrong. Therefore, again, this Bansal and
Excuse me, sir.
Harrison has written one book, these two people. What we have
Excuse
got
me,
as
sir.
Indian English.
Sir,
Indian
just a minute.
English. Yes, sir.
Just a minute, sir. One of my students has a request. Yeah, come and
Yeah.
come and tell. There is some problem with my video, sir. Even though I am enabling, it's not functioning. Just a minute.
I see.
Sir, could you please repeat the diphthongs?
Pardon, please speak loudly.
Could you please repeat diphthongs by number?
No, I'm not able to get you what you want to say correctly. Dr. Fayaz, what does she want to say?
Sir, she wants you to repeat diphthongs with exam numbers,
Pronunciation.
Numbers,
pronunciation,
diphthongs. Uh-huh. Now I think
pronunciation.
I have included all the 8 diphthongs in that particular chart, and first is a, hmm, as in for example late. I have given first number in circle to this a and e. Okay, double sound. Next is I, a and e. Okay, I, like fine, light, like that. Mine. Third is o and e, and e, like boy, but we say boy. Again, this is a mispronunciation. Boy, toy, joy, like that. Okay, third one. Then next is ear, like fear, e plus and a. the sound begins with E and ends in ear. Then next sound is fifth one is air, like fair. It begins with A and ends with air. Okay. Then next sixth one is U. U, and it begins with U and ends with There are three sounds ending in E, three sounds ending in and two sounds ending in U. Then the seventh one is O, like home, gold. We say gold, but actually it is gold. O. And the last eighth one is ow, like how, cow, now, like that. These are the 8 diphthongs. Okay. Is it clear to you? Hello, sir.
Yes,
Dr. Fayyad.
yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it clear to her? Actually,
Yes,
where are they looking me? Are they looking actually my image on their mobile, or you have projected on a screen?
I have projected, sir. You are at larger screen.
Yeah, yeah. You have projected my image on a large screen, then anybody can see
Yes,
very
sir.
clearly. Hmm?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh,
You are
uh,
visual. You are audible as well as visual, both.
that is fine. Somehow our experiment with Zoom could not materialize. That is why
Yeah.
actually had if we had one particular trial, then it would have been better.
Yeah.
I think Zoom is much more versatile than Meet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So next time we
Hmm.
will have trial initially, and then later on we can fix it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I have been speaking for more than 1 hour now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has been
because
a marathon
actually my
lecture.
my vocal cords are giving me signal now. My
Please.
vocal cords are giving me signal that
You can.
I have been I have
Yes, sir.
been
You can.
speaking for
Yeah,
fairly long time.
sir.
After my retirement, I have made one point, sir, that I will not engage one period more than 1 hour,
Okay, no
because
problem, sir.
actually
Yeah, if you
uh,
feel you can, you want to stop, you are free enough.
I
Yeah,
think this is enough, and because I am past 70 now, my age is I am running 71.
great, sir. But you don't appear like that.
The
You keep
appearances
trying.
are always
Yeah,
appearances are
you keep
always
on your
deceptive.
deceptive.
We should not go by appearance actually in our life in anywhere. We should not go by appearance because they are always deceptive.
True,
I'm in 71st year.
true, sir. And we would
70.
love to have your physical presence rather than visual presence, sir.
Oh, surely, sir, surely. But my visual inadequacy is a great handicap for me.
Okay. Is it
Ah,
so?
because my eyesight is not very good because of some surgeries and glaucoma, etc. I have been
Okay.
severely handicapped for very poor eyesight.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
My eyesight is not very good.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
Eyesight,
Yeah, yeah.
drishti. Uh,
Fine.
my
Sir,
eyesight is not very good.
okay. Sir, shall we take
Because of
question and answers or shall we wind up?
now, I think we have to wind up, sir,
Okay,
because
fine. Fine, fine,
because I
fine.
have been speaking.
Fine, sir.
And after some days, again, if my lecture is liked by the students, then definitely I will be very happy to appear before them for a second time
Definitely,
with
sir, definitely. Yeah,
one more topic.
sure, sir.
Hmm?
Uh, See, not only my students, but including me and my research scholar, we all have attended your marathon lecture.
Hmm.
And it has
Hmm.
been, in fact,
Okay.
teaching gets
Hmm.
richer day by day.
Hmm.
And you are in
Hmm.
the ripe age.
Hmm.
And we have thoroughly enjoyed the knowledge and the resource which you possess, sir.
Then actually, I should be very much thankful to you. because
No, sir.
it is very difficult nowadays. It is very difficult to find a good listener.
Yeah, but then also there is a dearth of good teacher also. Why there are no listeners? Because there are no teachers.
And and
Yeah,
dearth of teachers as well as good listeners also. Dearth of both. My experience tells me that there is dearth of both. Hmm. Okay,
yes, sir.
then I
Very
will
true.
wind up by saying, by saying
Sure.
that I am very much thankful to the organizers of this program, to my friend Dr. Fayaz and all his associates. I don't know their names, but the team. I thank the entire team, the students, the research scholars, and all those who are directly or indirectly involved in arranging this particular program. And my thanks go to the university also for having made this possible. I will be very much thankful to even the what you say, the people working in language lab, etc. I don't know how many people are involved in this venture. My thanks are due to all of them. And if the students are benefited by this, if they think that they have learned something new about phonetics and phonology, then I will think that my efforts have borne fruit, and I will definitely love to appear before them for a second time also, and even for a third time. No, because after my retirement, I am doing nothing. Simply, I am enjoying my retired life. If I am of some use to the students of any area, then actually my efforts are very fruitful. This is what I think. And with this, I would like to say goodbye to all the people present there. And I once again I thank you, Dr. Fayaz, for having made efforts to arrange this wonderful program. Thank you very much.
Yes, very good. Yeah, thank you so
Okay,
much,
sir. Shall
sir,
I close it
for your
now?
excellent marathon lecture. And on behalf of my PG students, as well as my research scholar and my director, and on behalf of my university, I extend gratitude to you, sir. And even after crossing 70 years, it still shows, it exemplifies your interest in teaching. So, as
Yeah,
you
of course,
said,
that is there.
yeah, there is no limitation for teaching as well as for listening as well. So, we
Yes.
would love to have more extended sessions whenever you feel and whenever there is a requirement from my students, whenever they express to have some information on particular topics. I would just try to extend the invitation to you, sir.
Oh, surely, surely. Do it by all means. Huh? Surely.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, and
Okay.
God bless you, sir.
Okay. Sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye
Okay.
bye. Take
Okay.
care. Take care.
Okay. Mm. 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 कोण? किंवा 3 वाजता आता 1 वाजले. चालतं नंतर आता काय म्हणले होते येतो म्हणून, पण ते त्यांना तुम्हाला काय कोणतं लागतंय का काही जाऊन त्यांना घेऊन येतो. हं, सांगून ठेव. अजून घरात सांगू काय घरी?